Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today we're unboxing the IsoTek Titan power conditioner. This is the EVO3, which isn't a new one, but I've realised that despite me loving this product and how awesome it is to tidy up the big, the power going to these big power amplifiers, perhaps even subwoofers, high current, high demanding products. It's come and gone from the shop many times over without me doing an unboxing video. So I thought I would honour my delight in the product, my love of what it does as far as cleaning things up by doing an unboxing video. So, firstly, the packaging as always. The Titan, by the way, is quite small, right this side. The packaging is designed, of course, because it's such a heavy, nuggety product, to keep it in one piece in transit. Plus, there's a few accessories which you will see. Nevertheless, the box, IsoTek. On one end, we've got the model and serial number information on this little wee sticker. And for years and years, IsoTek have caused me problems when it comes to actually reading some handwriting, because the serial number's still handwritten. You can imagine every time I'm looking at it, and is that a 5 or an S? Nevertheless, it makes me smile every time. It's great to see, by the way, that they still do, and it gives that sort of hand-built appeal that I quite like as well. Look, other than the colour options and other things like that, there's very little on the outer carton. Opening these is pretty straightforward. It's just closed with traditional packing tape. It's when you take that sort of first layer that you get to understand the physical size of the product and the care and attention that IsoTek have gone into to ensure that this arrives to you in one piece. Firstly, as we sort of slip some of these cardboard pieces out, which I'll have to start here, we've got an elaborate array of colour brochures and setup information associated with not only the IsoTek range of power cables and power conditioners, but also things associated with some of the Genesis products, which are the sort of regenerative products, and it's good to see that they've got not only a really good manual about the product, but also some of the other things you might be interested in. This is being a bit stubborn. Right, so we've got in a cardboard sleeve the 16 amp Premier power cable from IsoTek. Now this one is that sort of rectangular plug, so it's not an IEC like we're traditionally going to use with the classic jug cords and things like that. It's a big square one. Then we've got some basic cardboard filler off to one side. Then, as you saw earlier, it's got a whole bunch of these cool little sort of blue triangle foam pieces to protect it in freights. Quite a few of them. They all sort of sit around it. And take those out one at a time. And off to this side, another cardboard fill, and along the front as well. Now, it's at this point you want to lift the product out of the box. Just put that off to one side. And again, we see more of that sort of blue corner stuff to protect it in transit. Now, the larger IsoTek products have always come in these sort of jute bags. They are sort of a semi-soft, almost polished cloth on the inside, and obviously branded with IsoTek, which is kind of cool. Shuffling this Titan out from the bag is relatively straightforward. I've opted to grab this one in black, which I guess is a little bit more muted. It's also available in silver. It's quite a brick of a product. It's very heavy, so we'll just move it onto its front and slide the bag off. Again, kind of cool to have that sort of IsoTek logo. Right, so looking at the product and bearing in mind that this is a relatively boring looking product. Functionally, it's absolutely perfect. You see, with power cables and power filter boards and other things like that, they're often not geared up for the demands of some of the very large power amplifiers. In fact, some of the things in the Aquarius range and other things from IsoTek might have a high current sort of drop tap or a way of avoiding some of the more intense filtering that they do. This high current version is specific for power amplifiers, and it features like 82 dB noise reduction of RF and other things like that. But more importantly, it removes both common and differential noise. Now, common noise is RF transmitted noise. So that's kind of your Wi-Fi, your television aerials, cell phones, IR repeater systems, all of these things that are using these RF transmission and receiving protocols. That's clearly going to clog it with an invisible noise everything around us, and being able to strip that out of the power cables and other things that have collected it during the transmission to your home and within your home is one of the first primary things that these do so well. Now, bearing in mind it has something like a 112,000 amps of surge protection as well. So there's that, but you don't buy these products for the surge protection. You buy them because they drop the noise of the power coming into your amplifier so well, and with that the power that the amplifier will consume has a lower noise floor, and you have a real unveiling effect on your speakers and the music that you're listening to. So again, touching on common, and then the differential noise. Now, differential noise relates to the workings of power supplies of the other appliances within your home. So, I mean, some of the most obvious are these switch mode power supplies and some of the lights you might have. Classically, they may give a little buzz when they're operating. Well, that switch mode power supply is, of course, injecting noise back into the power as it uses it. So being able to remove that is vitally important as far as the performance. Nevertheless, looking at the product, it's not very deep. It's beautifully made. I mean, extruded aluminium with CNC lathing. It's got a blue LED on the top to indicate it's on. Again, beautifully made as far as that goes. Oh, there's some feet. I probably tossed them. There's some feet that go in here. I'll hang around for the photographs. I'll show those. They were probably wrapped up with the accessories and the power cable. Nevertheless, that sits up, and they themselves are designed to absorb some of the microscopic electrical vibrations that power products have. Turning it around, we see some of the basic features associated with the product, including the 16 amp input that I alluded to with the power cable, and an auxiliary out. Now, we're going to touch on that a little bit later. Nevertheless, hang around for the photos as always. Right, so we've got the 16 amp input and two traditional New Zealand power socket outlets, and that's of course once the filtering has been done. We also see an independent high current breaker. Now, that's not only for power protection, but it's part of the way that this will electrically isolate itself from the rest of the power. Rather than trying to rely on your fuse board or something related, there's a complete disconnect from the noisy elements of your home. Again, it's a brick of a product, so it's brilliant. Nevertheless, inside it is quite lovely. Now, looking at this for a moment and just touching on the reason that it has an in and then an out, and why this Titan product exists. Again, this is where you're going to plug your power amps in. I mean, this could be set up for mono blocks or a large power amp. I would not recommend it for large integrated amplifiers, particularly ones with DACs or something along those lines. A more traditional power board like a Cirrus or something along those lines, even a Polaris would be absolutely fine. Nevertheless, the input at 16 amps and then the output allows you to use one of IsoTek's sort of connector cables into another device. So these click in nice and easy, again hang around for the photographs, and allows you to then plug that into a power board for the next more delicate products like your CD players, your DACs, your preamps and those types of sort of things, even the source equipment like a streamer. So you have the high current in, high current out for the power supply, and then a tap off to be able to deliver the a nice simple plug on the wall into a power board for the more delicate devices. So there we have it, one of my favourite power products, the IsoTek Titan power conditioner, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.